we're going to cover why modern is still worth investing in. And not only that, I am going to show to you why it's actually better than vintage product. That's right, let's get started. I want to say this up front. I'm going to get a little feisty in this video, and I am not saying modern is better than vintage, vintage is better than modern. It has not a whole lot to do with that. It's the fact that vintage isn't necessarily the holy grail. It's not, hey, I just sink my money into this and it's going to be perfection. Hello, beautiful people. Captain Zach Sparrow here. Now, I know I probably just got a bunch of dislikes from simply mentioning the fact that modern is even in the same league as vintage. Please let me explain to you. However, if you want the long story up front right away, yes, modern is still worth investing in. If you just want to go off of that, then go off of that. In my opinion, I think modern is still worth investing in. Now, I have seen and heard verbally from numerous collectors, very smart. They're men, all of them are men. That is not trying to be sexist. I'm just saying these groups that I verbally listen to, they're all males that I'm talking to. The reason why I bring up why I'm talking to all of these people, I'm starting to get to know some of these guys. They have, they're normal guys. They've got jobs. They're in their 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. They've got established careers. They make decent money. I'm trying to paint a picture here for you, and it's to tell you that not everyone is 16 years old just trying to rip and flip online real quick. Some people are still trying to flip. You can do whatever it is you're going to do. I'm just trying to articulate and explain, hey, the type of people that I am talking to and that I'm listening to this, they think about this more than just on the surface of, oh, I can buy this box at Walmart and I can just sell it online for twice the profit. That's going to be great. Every single one of them, every single Discord group I'm in, all of them say, yeah, man, vintage is the play. I just wish I had some more money that I could throw at it. That's why I'm having to invest in modern. And I'm getting sick and tired of it. It's this stupid echo chamber. All of these people on Twitter, in Discord groups, in forums, and everyone repeating the same garbage. And I'm the only one that I have seen that explains, hey, here are the numbers. What are you talking about? Every single time I get into a Discord call, I hear these theories of, well, this product, it didn't move for 5. Well, who cares if it didn't move for 5 years? What about the 6th or 7th year? The game has been out for a minute now. Well, you have to factor that in, Mr. Zack Sparrow. You have to understand that there's an opportunity cost during those 5 years. It doesn't matter if I wasn't planning to sell during those 5 years. If I wanted to sell on that 6th year or later, the fact of the matter is that I made 600, 800% on my money. That bottom line, that is what I care about. I don't care if it didn't make any money or lost money during the previous years. Okay, let's go ahead and talk about this really quick. And I don't want to come across as angry. I'm very passionate about the fact that I think people are getting it wrong, simply put. And I'm not saying I'm right and I'm all-knowing and that I'm better than, it's none of that. What I'm trying to say is, I'm hearing this regularly. And the reason why I am so adamant right now is I want to prove to you, if you want to put it that way, that, hey, it's not just as simple as saying, yep, put your money in old stuff. It's going to be safer. It's going to be better. It's going to just perform. You're going to see a higher percentage increase. That's not true, actually. Sure, there are outliers and there are plenty of old products you can invest in, and they will probably do fantastic. Historically, they've performed great. And yes, another thing that I know some people are going to mention will be, well, if you buy like base set, for example, we understand that those have performed at a certain rate over the last couple of decades. They've certainly performed well. I am not refuting anything like that. And people are saying, well, it is somewhat safe for me to assume and expect that moving forward. And I will go ahead and play devil's advocate and say, okay, well, every new set that came out through the decades now at this point, every new set after a period of time, they're worth more in the future than what you could have bought them at if you got them at or around MSRP. So what I'm trying to explain is you are speculating whether it's in vintage product or it's in modern product. It's all risky in that sense at the end of the day. And you can talk about diversifying and putting it into this set and that. At the end of the day, you're investing in the Pokemon franchise. That is one stock, in my opinion. Okay, so let's bring the numbers to you now. Let's say, hey, you know what? Base set, it's out of my range. I'm looking at Jungle. I just used Jungle First Edition for an example. Recently, on recent sold on eBay, I didn't want to use the very last example that I saw on eBay. It went for like around $9,500 and it was scratched off. So I'm not sure what the story is there. Fairly regularly earlier in the month, I saw some booster boxes, first edition Jungle booster boxes, going around that $14,000 mark. They were going for more previously, but we want to use current numbers. So let's just say they're going for around $14,000. So let's say you bought a Jungle first edition booster box for $14,000 right now, and you're like, finally, I've got a great product. I'm going to sit around, wait a few years, however many years, and it's going to be a great return on my investment. Personally, I think that's not that crazy to assume something like that, to expect something like that. Now, the thing I want to point out to you is, if you look at my previous video, I hope I remember I put it in the card up here. If I don't, hopefully I'll put it in the description. If not, I was talking about an XY set and the thumbnail says 5,000% return, just in case I forget to do that. The average set during the XY era, if you would have bought every single set during the XY era, the average percent increase, if you got a booster box at $100, which you could have easily got them for less than $100, but let's say you got them for $100, and then you sold today or very recently, on average, you would have seen a 684% increase if you bought each booster box from the XY era. So that I'm using as a somewhat benchmark, because people said, oh, well, during XY, that's not that great to invest in. It hasn't been out that long. It's not, you haven't seen that big of a historical trend. We don't have a lot of data to go off of, is what I'm trying to say. So I'm going to use that as our benchmark. Is that okay for me to do that? I'm using the XY era as our benchmark, 684%, which again, by the way, the ETBs outperformed the booster boxes. Big surprise there. If you've been watching the channel, you know that though. So our benchmark, 684% increase. If you bought, I'm looking at right here, $14,100. So if you spent $14,000 on a Jungle First Edition booster box, you would need to wait until that booster box hits over $95,000. I'm going to say that again. You would need to wait until that booster box hits over $95,000 to see that 684% increase. Now, is that an insane number? Yes. Will the boxes get there at some point? Maybe, right? I don't know. I can't guarantee anything. I wanted to paint the picture and let you know how astronomical these numbers have to get for you to experience a similar percent increase. Yeah, well, just historically, the older stuff outperforms the... Show me. Where is that at on the spreadsheet? Please show me regularly where you can experience gains like that. I would love to buy in. Are you saying that all of these modern sets are going to outperform Jungle? No, I am not saying that. However, do I think maybe about half of the Sword and Shield era, if you bought every single ETB, every single booster box during that era, do I think that you could experience, I don't know, 200, 500 to 1,000%? I don't think that's insane to expect that half a decade to a decade from now. I can't guarantee that. Historically, we've seen that though. I'm looking at forums from 10 plus years ago of these people saying, why are you investing in the black and white era? Do you know how much money you would be sitting on right now if all you did was invest in the black and white era? You know what? Don't believe me. People said that during XY, Sun and Moon. They're saying it during Sword and Shield. Modern is still totally fine to buy. If you can get it at or under MSRP, that's a huge win. Again, I'm not saying modern is better than vintage or vintage is better than modern. I am saying, use your brain, think about it. If I put $14,000 into a booster, and the reason I keep emphasizing that, 14 grand, that's a lot of money. I don't care who you are, how much money you make. Going off of the comments I get a lot of comments of people saying, hey, I can invest in like 1 or 2 booster boxes or like a case or maybe 2 cases. So a $14,000 booster box, that is going to be a very big deal. I understand there's going to be a smaller target audience for that. And I am saying, hey, instead of you putting all of your money into that $1, hoping it goes up over time, which historically it has done that. Can we somewhat expect that moving forward? I personally would. Do I think it's going to hit $100,000 in the next 5 years? I don't know. I can't reasonably assume that it would. So would I rather put my money into Modern right now? Personally, yes. Man, this guy is crazy, dude. I'm just saying, Vivid Voltage ETBs are still going from 70 to $100 on the secondary market right now. I'm the crazy one? Yeah, well, those haven't been reprinted yet, my man. What if they're not reprinted? What if they are? Are they just going to sit at $50, $40 forever? I don't know. I think I'm going in circles at this point, but I hear this regularly. I don't hear anyone talking about this ever. But what do I know? If you guys did enjoy this video, make sure you subscribe and hit the notification bell so you're notified of future videos just like this one. And until next time. Invest in Modern, dang it.